Hello and welcome back to the Beginner's Guide. As we delve deeper into the story, let's put an end to this phenomenal piece of art. And yes, I do think it's art. That's what I'm calling it. This is what it is. How do I know we're going to end here? Because the game's not very long. It's actually the opposite of very long.
This one took a lot longer
short.
than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this. And it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
At the time. Sorry. Okay, so it's literally a theatre, yeah? Okay. La 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 la. Me 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 me. I'm sorry. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello? Hello? That's it? It's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her, be a human being. Do it again. Oh, alright. I like you. I'm super scared right now. Here are all my hopes and dreams. No, 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 that's not what I said at all. Completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was confident. I was confident, maybe. Around us, I'll give you props to work with. Okay. Touch the... It really works hard to get where you are, but you... What sort of sacrifice you had to make? You're messing it all up again. Yeah, I understand, It's like that feeling when whatever you say or do feels super wrong. And I guess it could be an insecurity when... Stepping back from the stage, alright. What, like back there? Oh, right. Am I supposed to go down there? I imagine I'm supposed to go down there.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success. The answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010. Mobius Strip. To play this game properly, you must have your eyes closed. Click to begin. I imagine the game is going to trust me. Should I actually close my eyes, guys? Nah, I don't think so. Because if I were to close my eyes physically in the real world, I would not be able to see any of this. Oh.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Is there? Huh. Okay, amusing. I like this. I like this very much. What if we... Well, there's an entire area up here, so what if we do this? The truth.
Like I said, I was getting concerned.
Oh.
First off,
okay.
He's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So, where's that coming from? But then, even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Damn. Okay. There's a voice. There is a voice. I can hear it. Don't you lie to me. What's wrong? You look lost. Try to create. I feel empty. Yeah. So it's basically a crisis of this particular creator being unable to, you know, make anything else, make anything new, and you know, yeah. And basically having a crisis in his life of all sorts of descriptions.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because, from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Close the first door. Yeah. Just open the first one now, just press the switch here. There you go.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Oh, so this is like me talking my way out of it.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. Yeah. And I used to get so much joy.
I'm giving very productive commentary here, like,
seeing him create.
My apologies.
For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten.
Going back to the prison idea.
I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Is he some sort of masochist? Because he's torturing himself. And you gotta ask the question is, what, is he doing this for the money? What is he doing? Because he never released these games, right? Give me these here. We want someone called The Press, so we might have a bit of attention on this. Calls itself Coda.
And of course, it's the machine.
Stop feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. So like, I get it. So like, he can't stop making games. It's his passion. It's what he wants to do, right? He really wants to do it, and yet he can't do it anymore. He's just torturing himself, and he's like tormented. Right. Apologize for leaving me. Think carefully. I know how to hurt you. I have seen the things you fear. I'm gonna stop running around in circles over it. It may make people dizzy. I will apologize to the people on your behalf. Oh god. Oh. My friends. Falls on me to deliver the bad news. She refused to admit it. She will not apologize to us. It shows that we are not failures. Only we will destroy. Back on the stage, oh god, okay. And with the gun from the beginning, holy shit, this is... At this point, I'm going to stop my commentary of what I think the game's trying to convey. Because here, we're going to differ a lot. In fact, everyone is going to differ a lot from this point on in the future. Which is kind of the beauty of this game. Oh, so I'm destroying the world, am I? I was supposed to go through here.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Probably not. We're now destroying every single piece of game we have created because, yeah, I'm having a crisis. It's all bullshit. It's all bad. It's all wrong. We need to eliminate it all.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
I like the metaphor here. I really like the metaphor of falling into that hole and destroying the levels and everything. I really love that.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do?
Yeah.
Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift,
the road to hell was paved with good intentions.
When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
No, I don't like that music. Did Coda commit suicide in the end?
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower. And to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
This is the end, this is the last level. Holy shit. Well, I was going to say, I'm going to, at the end of this, quote a famous writer and then explain to you why I believe that it is very much relevant.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it. except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable.
Yeah.
The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Thank you. It's the default textures for Source, like the, well, I said textures, the blocks for Source. It's a nice touch, I like it.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just
I was guessing,
clean the house
I was gonna say that when we
had
played
to
it.
cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate.
Yes, this
What's
one
the
doesn't.
deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Oh, it had to be 1 right after I clicked. Okay, 1, 5, 1. Hey, this is the most challenging part of the game I've had thus far. Okay. 151 617 6 1 6 1 7 back here. Oh, I missed it. Sorry. 6 7 1 push. So it's a stairway, okay. Lift me up. Excellent. So I was gonna say, this reminds me very much of Chekhov, and is saying that in literacy you should write so that with words it is narrow but wide with thoughts. It very much reminds me of this game in the sense of it is very narrow and simplistic in what it shows you, but it is incredibly wide with thoughts and a very, very deep and thought-provoking game.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me. The idea
And
of
behind
cutting
this
yourself
is
off
the same
entirely.
puzzle we've been
Just
doing all
saying,
the time, which is on the other
that's
side
it.
of it
That's
right
the
now.
end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
We're turning this on.
But I can
cue
open
right
this door
now,
for
right?
you, so let me do that.
Thank you. That's not the end. It's not
Was I a failure
Okay.
for not understanding this game? I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, I
remember,
guess the
it's June
ultimate.
of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person.
Oh god, that's
I
scary.
have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
I can't help but feel a little bit lost.
Where did I screw up?
I think we screwed up at the very beginning, mate. And I think that's the point of this game, is that we screwed up.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I?
Fuck my life.
That's what I did. I poisoned it for you.
I'm on the other side of the room. I am physically as far away from this monitor as I can be. Well, you know, while staying in the room and actually being able to speak into the microphone. Yo! Yo! Okay, that is... It's like... You know when you get chills down your spine, it's usually like a pleasant feeling. This was not pleasant. This was like someone stabbing katanas in... Well, katanas isn't a stabbing sword, but stabbing daggers in my spine, like, right one next to each other. That is... Yo, that is powerful. I'm gonna shut up now. Silence is gold.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
Fuck my life. You've so infected my personal space, it's impossible.
The people who played them,
they
treated me like I was important.
Solutions in my work.
They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally.
So
for
this
a moment,
is about
while
you,
I had
man.
That, I liked myself.
Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe. Well, on one side, it's his. Just stop changing my game. Stop adding lampposts to them. Yo, this game is about you, man. It's not about Coda. Like, I mean, this game that I bought is about him, not Coda. Not this particular level.
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to
let them
be
be
with
what
myself.
they are.
And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling.
When I'm around,
nothing.
When I'm around you, I feel physically ill.
What is that?
You desperately need something and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. That's the point of the machine and the everything, yo. I like, it's literally like drawing back from the first level. That's the connection. You remember in the first impressions video, I told you that there's gonna be a connection linking all of the videos together, well, all of the chapters together. This is it. I honestly thought the game is going to be a lot more open with its ending. Like, show us something very abstract and distant, and have everyone sort of pick their own ending in their mind. Like, you know, oh, he probably meant this, and I understood it as this, and you understood it as that. Kind of like when reading a poem, I keep drawing lines to literature quite often, and I apologize for it, but I think I think I'm right to do so. But no, it is actually giving us a concrete ending, a very concrete ending. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than me. Yeah, I was just making that point. I realise that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. Oh. But I do hope that one day it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing that you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Yeah, man. When you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please. I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in.
I think Coda never put the...
Is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again. Like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me.
Yeah,
can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please.
You don't get it, man.
Start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
This game... Wow, man, this game. This game. I'll be happy with this if this is the end, but the epilogue. The epilogue. Okay. Huh. Well then.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
Yeah.
Solution.
That is nice. That is bloody nice. Good work. It's bloody beautiful. And it's hard to pull off, I know.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate.
Mate,
wouldn't have told so
it's
many
not
people
him.
That he was depressed.
Coda's not desperate, man. Coda's happy. Like, this is the sick plot twist of the game. Coda's happy. Well, no. It's not entirely true, but this isn't Coda being depressed. These games aren't about Coda. They're not about his feelings. Well, to an extent, they aren't.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
So we're just gonna bury ourselves in sand. I guess depression and sorrow. Yeah. Ooh, this is beautiful. I'm sorry, I should be focusing on the story, but this is really beautiful. I'm gonna screen save. This is gonna be my screen saver. Wow. Textures are poor quality.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Having a bit of an existential crisis, I guess. And a life crisis. It happens, man. It happens. I don't... This is the thing. I can't give you the answer. Nobody can, other than you. There's one person on this universe that can give you the answer to what is the meaning of life, and that is you. And you are ultimately here touching on the deepest possible topic.
And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Bye. Hope you pull through. These are some seriously pretty levels, like, seriously. me to go back to the start? You lift me up. What's that other song? Lift me up above this, the broken, the empty. It's actually relevant to the story, so. We're gonna end up back at the start, aren't we? Yep. Going back to the start. There's my phone. Do we have someone that we can give a shout out to? I think we do. No? Maybe? Glorious Potato, shout out to you. Glorious Potato. It's the dude's actual name. I mean, I'm not... His YouTube account's name. I'm not making this up. Why shout out? Well, you commented on something, so... Thank you, Glorious Potato. I'm getting distracted. I just realised what the thing in front of us is. And I honestly have to say, I am lost. If this is what I think it is. Yeah, it is. At this point, I am lost. Okay? Because the idea of this was to sacrifice yourself for the greater good. And I'm honestly lost at this point. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Is the point of that zappy thing, you have become Coda? Well, not really become Coda, but you have become the protagonist of Coda's games, basically. You have become him in real life as well. But this is bloody amazing. Get it? Maze? Amazing. Wow. Honestly, wow. This is something that we're going to need to sit through. I'm going to need to sleep on, probably get something to drink, and then think about what I just played. But, is that the end? Please don't be the end. Like, please give me something else. I get it. I get it. I actually do. I get it. Wow. Wow, amazing. Whisper Machine. Oh yeah, I remember that. The machine again. Active and then it breaks down. I like that metaphor. This is the long and boring part when we stare in front of this screen and I explain to you my take on the ending, isn't it? Because it is kind of open. Like I expected a more concrete ending, but it is. They didn't leave it open enough. You know what, I'm going to take the microphone off its podium here and I'm going to grab it and hold it in my hands as I lean back. Try and explain everything. Actually, is the cable long enough to reach me? Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, where to begin? We figured out the name. We figured out the name, guys. Beginner's Guide. Where to begin? Yeah. Let me ask you something. Where does the game begin? This is why this isn't a start button. This is the begin the game button. Where does it begin? Is this the start of the game? No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Well, this is the intro. I get it. It is an intro, right? It fits the rest of it, but it is a bit above or to the side of everything else. Chapter 1, does it start here? Is this the beginning of the game? No. No, this is the ending of the game. This is where you if I play this game in reverse, is that the point? Playing it in reverse? We'd still get the same effect. The game doesn't begin at chapter 1, the game begins. The game doesn't begin, that's why I guess it's the beginner's guide. The game is all of this. It doesn't have a start or a finish. Wow. Wow. I'm not going to talk to you about what I think the maze symbolises, the lampposts, there's even the lamppost here. But what I will talk about is the following. They've made it so every single person, as I return the microphone to its stand, every single person that does this on YouTube, and everyone is doing it, this is an insanely popular game, every single person that does it is going to have a different take on it. Is going to understand the game differently, which is expected and which is completely fine, okay? But what I will talk about is some concrete stuff that we've seen. The game isn't about Coda, as much as the guy is trying to convince you it is. Coda is, from where I see it, unhappy for one simple reason. Unhappy because he's trying to make games for himself, make games and work on concepts, and right? He's creating something he doesn't want to share with anyone. He finds this friend that he's willing to share with so much, and this guy just violates that. And Coda stops talking to him. Coda distances himself from it. Coda's making these games which have intriguing points around them, and this guy just goes in and changes them around. Right? He adds lampposts. Like that is such a strong sentence like that. It's like, stop adding lampposts, even though this person is continuously trying to tell you that Coda's the one that put the lamppost there in this. You need to search for a deeper feeling, for a deeper, apologies, for a deeper meaning to all this. The game is about this person from the intro, whose name I've completely forgotten. I apologise. The intro person's problem with obsessiveness and his problem with his mental issues. Let's just say. So this is not a game about a person that is having difficulty, as you might initially think when walking up these stairs, for example. This is a very simple concept. Here, and... I'm sorry. Unprofessionalism. I'm sorry. Like, this is not about a person having creative issues. It's not the main point of the game, even though Coda does have creative issues because he's trying to create more games for this guy, and he's just stuck in this landslide, I suppose. it is more about something else. Which just slipped me. But the puzzle's very intriguing as well, because I believe the point the game's trying to make is Coda never put the lever at the back. This puzzle you're never meant to solve. All of Coda's games you couldn't win, right? Let's go back through them. I think you couldn't actually beat any of Coda's levels, could you? Yeah, you can't. He just modified them because he was obsessed with this sense of completion and connecting it all together, and he was obsessed with helping Coda when he was the one that needed help. That is what the game basically spoon-fed to us, concrete evidence of that. Everything else is up to you, and I'm not going to share my opinion, because if I do say what I think the deeper meaning behind this game is, behind the initial story, there's going to be people like, yeah, that's not what this guy said, you're just wrong. There isn't a right or wrong answer here, there isn't. It is what you make of it. This game is a piece of art. This game is a piece of art. Wow. You know what it makes me do? Just lean back in this chair, put a hand on my beard and stroke it slowly and think about everything that I just experienced. Sit in silence in a dark room for some 15 minutes and think about what I just saw. Extremely thought-provoking. Because ultimately we're dealing with a person that obviously has some mental issues, but searching for a meaning of life, I guess, to an extent. Though the ending has me confused. The ending with the zap thing and having you lifted up. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's replay the first level. Let's replay the first level. Because this is actually, well, not chronologically speaking after the ending, but from a making sense of everything point, this is after the ending. Whisper machine status activated, yeah. This is after the ending, not chronologically, but you know, from a point of let's try and make sense of everything.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets.
Is this the ending of the game? Yeah,
but
this is the ending of this
really
game.
Know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Yeah, you can now see how much bullshit he's saying. To be honest, I never really agreed with his views from the beginning. I always had my sort of different version of it all.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room. Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past.
Again.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
The Whisper machine has to be turned off.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering a Whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Do you understand now? Do you understand now?
Let me pause here for a second.
This is the ending of the game.
What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this
No,
level.
mate. No.
But when he first compiles
no,
and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
There isn't a bug. It's meant to be like this. This isn't a bug, mate. This is his point. It's the point he's trying to make. This isn't a bug.
The beam causes you to start floating. And
Wow.
this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse.
Nah, man.
I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain.
No, it
he wants
doesn't.
to do more of these really weird and experimental designs.
Nah, man.
So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream.
Do you understand now? I hope you do. I hope that clears things up. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Thank you all very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video and wanted to check out the rest of the channel. We're actually 1 subscriber off the 200 subscriber milestone, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. So yeah. Hope we get to that 200 milestone. I really need ideas to what to do for 200 subscribers as a special. I really need ideas to that. I need to think of something. Regardless, it's besides the point. Thank you again for watching me play through this absolutely amazing piece of art, and I will see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye bye.